Recognize that song? And that's Following the Leader from Peter Pan. Good morning, Toastmaster friends, and welcome guests. Most of my adult life has been spent in Minnesota. I moved here from California when I was 22 years old. And I spent, my first job was with Manpower temporary agencies, but I was on contract at IBM, and I spent 7 years there. The last 5 of those years was as a supervisor. And then I got a job at Mayo, and I've been at Mayo for 24 years, with the last 6 of those in a management role as well. So when I add up those two numbers, which I can do very readily, it comes to 11 years of management or supervisory experience. With my job at Mayo, I've had 2 very good managers, and I've had 2 managers who have caused me great consternation. And I've learned from both of them. In the Pathways curriculum, they've taken all of these volumes about how to be a good leader and what constitutes a good leader. And they've compiled it into one little leadership module, which was fascinating. But the curriculum talks about 5 attributes of a successful leader. And as I put my speech together, I ended up coming up with 3 more. But one attribute is being an effective communicator. And this is not just about written communication and being able to articulate and find words when you are speaking in front of a large audience. It's also about being a good listener and making sure that you treat people with respect. Another is leads by example. So modeling the behavior that you want others to do. Another attribute of a successful leader is being optimistic. Glass is half full, cloud has a silver lining, looking at the positives, the bright side. Another attribute is being open-minded, listening to others' opinions, accepting that others might know a way forward, but also being open-minded about diversity and inclusion, because that makes a stronger workforce. And then the 5th one from the curriculum was demonstrates integrity. And that's simply being trustworthy, being honest and transparent. The ones that I came up with include being dependable. If you say you're going to do something, you do it, and you know people can depend on you. Another is being a continuous learner. Taking classes, actually I have to leave early today because I'm in a day-long leadership class at work. And this last one, I'm sorry, Eric, you don't match. It's a good leader must have good handwriting. Where is Eric? Oh, there you are. It's a very important quality of a good leader.
I'll have to take some classes.
Yeah, no problem. Again, through the behaviors that I've observed from my good managers as well as the managers who were terrible, I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. They formed me into the manager that I am today. Through the curriculum that asked me a series of 20 questions, and then it scored me to determine my leadership style, and it showed 8 characteristics, and I'm just going to share the top 3 with you. My top leadership style was around coaching, preparing individuals for success for the future, and I do focus a lot on career development, but again, I'm modeling behavior that I've seen in the past. My own manager did this for me. She created job opportunities for me. There goes my earring. She created job opportunities for me, and I do the same for the employees that I supervise and manage today. This is a word I really like, affiliative, and it means emphasizing, for leadership quality, it's emphasizing teamwork and harmony. I really do just want people to get along, but I also want people to like and respect one another. Back in 2008, I worked on a project where we assembled a team of about 25 people, and very few people had worked together before, so almost nobody knew each other. It was a combination of Mayo employees and contractors. And within a month of that project kicking off, one of my coworkers decided to host an after-hour event where we all got together at her house for dinner. And I remember one of the contractors bringing an entire cooler of beer, Corona, so to me that was good beer. And everybody brought something, and honestly, that was one of the best projects I worked on, because 2 or 3 times we did those kind of things and we got to know each other outside of work. And I think that's what made our project the most successful. And the third quality is democratic, providing opportunities for participation, building consensus. What I like to do with my staff is I like to have them do stretch goals, so something that's really outside their comfort zone. Like leading a meeting. We have a section meeting with 40 people in it. I plan the agenda, I facilitate the meeting. I would love for somebody to take that off my plate once, and that way they can plan the agenda, they can facilitate the meeting. It might be scary, but it will develop their skills and give them opportunities in the future. As I mentioned, I strive to do better. I'm taking classes, I'm learning. In my mind, leadership is a journey. And I look for people who can be role models for me, like my sister. She's an amazing administrator. She's no nonsense, but she has a huge heart. And in our conversations back and forth at work, I have learned volumes about what to do and what not to do as a manager. I take those lessons, I put them in my pocket. I carry those with me throughout my day. And then even the stuff from the yucky managers that I have, I take those lessons, I put them in my back pocket so that I can sit on them. But I keep those in mind too, because they've taught me valuable lessons. It does matter which leaders you follow, but sometimes you also have to make your own way. Have a great Thursday.